Hi and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. This week I'm going to carry on telling some of those stories about Jesus in the Bible that were written down by a man called Luke. This time, a story about food. Definitely one of my favourite subjects, although actually this time it's not about eating food. Sometimes we might skip a meal or even not eat for a more extended period of time, commonly called fasting. Sometimes it might be for medical reasons or part of a diet, but it can also be for religious reasons. Jews fast for different reasons, sometimes to show that they're sorry for things they've done wrong, sometimes to show their love of God, sometimes just in obedience for something that God's asked them to do. Now one day, some people came and asked Jesus about this because it was an important observance for people at the time. And the reason they came and asked Jesus about it was they'd seen the disciples or followers of other teachers fasting regularly. They even referred to Jesus' cousin, a guy that we remember as John the Baptist, and how his followers would fast and use the time to pray to God. So people came and asked Jesus why his disciples weren't doing this. I guess they thought it wasn't right, that they were, seen to be acting in a way that maybe wasn't the norm. Jesus' response, I think, though, surprised people a little bit, because his response was actually about using common sense to make the best use of your time and resources. Maybe what he said was a little bit cryptic. Let me tell you, he said this: "The friends of a bridegroom don't go without eating while he is still with them. But the time will come when he will be taken away from them. Then they will go without eating." Jesus was talking about himself and how he wouldn't be with them forever. I mean, I could go into more detail about that. If you want to, just let me know. But that's what he was talking about. And what Jesus was saying was, right now, it's important for his followers to spend as much time as possible learning and following him and not be distracted by other things. And as if to emphasise the point, he continued to give a couple of examples. One about how if you patch old clothes with new cloth, then when the new cloth gets wet, it will shrink and it will spoil the old clothes because they have already shrunk, so they won't shrink anymore. He also gave an example about making wine and how it's important, or it was important at the time, to put new wine you were making into a new skin to hold it, because as it ferments, it expands and it would just break an old skin because they're not stretchy anymore. These common sense examples made sense to people. But I don't think they probably got the reference about Jesus and the bridegroom and that he wouldn't be with them that long. And it's easy sometimes for us to look back, isn't it? Because we see the whole story. We can see the rest of the story and explain it that way. They couldn't. So I think one of the things Jesus is encouraging us to do sometimes is to step back and look at the big picture. Because when we do that, we can think more about how we use our time and how we prioritise. I don't know what the priorities are in your life at the moment. For me, I find it's important to think about things sometimes, to check what I'm doing. And personally, I also try to follow where I believe God is showing me that my priorities need to be for what I'm doing, through prayer, through reading the Bible and just feeling what he thinks I should be doing. Maybe this week, see if you can find time to take a step back from the hustle and bustle of life, from what you are doing. Think about your priorities. You never know, maybe God's asking you to try out something new or find out about something. Have a great week and I'll see you next time. God bless.